Welcome to Seniors in Action. It's good to be with you today. I'm Michael Scott, your host, and it's been a while since I've done a video on this channel, so I have to apologize for that. I'll try to be a little bit more dedicated in the future, but I just had some different projects that I'm working on. Had COVID for a while, so it's good to be back anyway, and it's nice to be here. Today we're going to talk about staying active through assisting nonprofit organizations. It could be a nonprofit organization or it could be a not-for-profit organization. We're going to talk about both, and I'll tell you what the differences are. But let's get into it. We've got our disclaimer here. There's the disclaimer, and then let's talk about nonprofits. Okay, this is an introduction to a nonprofit organization, which is defined by the IRS as a 501c3 type organization, which is called a nonprofit. It's exempt for taxes, and these organizations are generally churches, scientific organizations, charitable organizations, educational organizations like schools, literary organizations, maybe libraries, public safety or cruelty prevention causes and purposes like that. And the key with these things is that the donors that give money and donate money to these things it's a tax deductible donation. Okay, so they can deduct those things on their federal income tax purposes. So this is a nice distinction to have, because you can go out and tell people, well, if you donate to us, you'll get a tax deduction on your tax return. Okay, those are the types of companies non-profits are, types of organizations. Now, let's go ahead and look at a not-for-profit organization. All right, and a not-for-profit organization is also a legal entity. It's operated for a particular purpose, maybe as a sports club or American Legion, for example, VFW, Key Club, Kiwanis, things like that. And so it's organized to fit a particular purpose, social purpose, and to benefit society in a particular way. Okay, these also are tax-exempt organizations. They're not 501c3 organizations, but they would be a 501c something else, okay? And the way that they differ from a nonprofit is that donors that donate money to these organizations do not get a tax deduction, okay? Even though these guys are tax exempt, they don't have to pay income taxes, and unless they do something outside their general purpose that has nothing to do with the reason that they're a nonprofit or a not-for-profit. If they do those things, they may have to pay income tax. But as long as they operate within their nonprofit or even a not-for-profit bylaws, well, then they're exempt from income taxes. Okay, so and I mentioned examples of these things: sports organizations, social organizations, and community organizations. These types of organizations need a lot of help, and by volunteering with these organizations, you can remain active, you can meet lots of people, and it keeps you active, keeps your mind going and stuff. And as a senior citizen, we need to do that. We need to stay active. I did a video on pickleball several months ago, probably 6 months ago now, and I'd been introduced to pickleball, but I really hadn't played it very much, and so I started playing pickleball, and I really love the game. I mean, I would like to see all of you play pickleball and be active and get your bodies in shape and stuff, because it's a great game for seniors. And here in Twin Falls, Idaho, we have about 40 or 50 senior age people that love to play pickleball, and they're pretty devoted to it, and will show up 5 days a week almost in some situations. So, but it keeps you in shape. And the reason I tell you that is because we have a Twin Falls Pickleball Association, which is a not-for-profit organization. And I'm actually the treasurer of that organization now. And so but we need people. We need people to, to serve as to write articles, to put articles in the paper, to notify people of tournaments, to help with tournaments, to be the president of the organization, be a secretary, keep track of the membership, all those type of things. Keep track of the billing the members, invoicing the members, that type of thing. So all of these non-for-profits or not-for-profits need people to help them in some way. And certainly, let's go ahead and look at some of the ways that you might be able to help. And so tax organization facts, we've got about 1,000,005 of these things, and that was back in 2016. So we probably have 2 million now almost in the United States alone. And so they comprise of churches, hospitals, credit unions, sports organizations, social advocacy groups, educational groups, that type of thing. And trade organizations, country clubs. So lots of different types of things. And so a lot of different types of things that you can do. Agricultural co-ops, veterans organizations. I've got a friend that is in a veterans organization, and I know he's an officer. He goes once a month, and he helps the veterans organization. I served in Kiwanis, and I've got a Kiwanis T-shirt on. You can't see it right now, but we would cook pancakes all the time and raise money for. Once we raised the money, we would give it away to Little League Baseball and to our Key Club that was a high school club, and help them, and a lot of other things. And Rotary does the same thing. They raise money and they use it to benefit the community. Our Rotary Club in Twin Falls is actually improving the restroom situation we have at one of our parks. So all of these things, lots of stuff to do. So what might you do as a volunteer? I mentioned a few things. Habitat for Humanity. I actually volunteered at Habitat for Humanity and for a couple hours one time, and I took apart old sinks that had been donated. And these guys actually, they build houses for people that are low-income people that need help. And they also have a restore store where they restore things and put it in that store so people can come and buy them. And so they get a lot of stuff donated to them, which are, stuff out of older homes and stuff, or sinks and things like that people don't want anymore. And so I was cleaning up sinks so they could be sold in their restore store, and taking them apart and getting the putty off them, and in some cases, and just cleaning them up. But we also clean chairs. So there's lots of things that you can do. The animal shelter, for example, walks pets. You can walk pets. My daughter, I know, has walked pets over there. She's cleaned pet areas. That doesn't sound very attractive to me, but cleaning the pet areas, if you want to do that. Sometimes they need toys for the pets in there, and you can make little toys for them. So lots of things to do. A senior center, you can help in the kitchen, administrative help, assist the seniors in whatever they might need when they come in there. They may have a dance. They may have events that need to be organized. They have a flyer that has to go out, and somebody has to do all this stuff. So, and most of these organizations, some have paid employees, but a lot are just run by volunteers. And so, the more volunteers that they can get, if they use their volunteers effectively anyway, they do a good job. I actually. And speaking of using your volunteers effectively, I was a scoutmaster for a while, and I had an Eagle Scout, and I went to the YMCA and tried to get an Eagle Scout project there. And we were going to do things for the YMCA, but the director of the YMCA just didn't follow up. And I would say that's an example of a organization that wasn't using their volunteers effectively in that situation. But so sometimes that happens. But sports clubs, you need help with tournaments. You need to serve as a treasurer like I'm doing. You need to send out flyers, to write articles for the paper, that type of thing. Churches, you can teach Sunday school, help in the office, go visit members. Hospitals certainly need people that are greeting patients, and usually they have volunteers down in the lobby that do that. You can assist with patients. Schools need you to assist in the classroom, assist on field trips. So all of these things are things that you can do to stay active. And, if you don't want to play pickleball or you don't want to get involved in a reading program and reading a lot of books and you need your mind active, volunteer as a nonprofit, as a helper for a nonprofit. Service clubs like Rotary and Kiwanis and Lions and Elks, serve as an officer, help them out, help with activities. Social clubs, you can write a newsletter to notify members of upcoming events, and there's endless opportunities here, so that if you're sitting at home and you need something to occupy your time, if you're lonely, get out and do something, and contact these service organizations. You'll meet nice people, and you'll enjoy what you do, I guarantee it. Well, anyway, that's the thought for the day, and the thought of this channel is to keep seniors active. We are seniors in action, and we need to be active seniors. It helps us from a health standpoint, both mentally and physically. So good luck, and I'll be back with you. I should be back with you before Christmas, but I do wish you a Merry Christmas and a good New Year at this time as well.